Peace, blessings, much respect, much love. It's your boy, the Ghetto Guru, aka Shango, coming back with a spiritual message for y'all. Hope everything is well. Hope you're having a good day. If not, hope the rest of your day get better. But I got 3 messages for y'all today, so I'm gonna get into the first one. So this first video is gonna be titled, "In order to be a leader, you first have to know how to be led." In order to be a leader, you first need to know how to be led. So I'll explain what I mean. So, in today's age, everybody, especially when it comes to social media with the whole followers and following thing, everybody always wants to make sure they got more followers than following, and everybody wants to be in the forefront. Everybody wants to be first. Everybody wants to be the only one. Everybody wants to be like, oh, I'm different from everybody. I ain't like nobody else, and I'm in my own different league, and these people's not like me, and all that extra stuff, right? A lot of times ego talk. But what I'm talking about is real leadership. And when I speak about leadership, I'm talking about somebody that can actually lead people onto the right path, or just lead people not astray into things that are very detrimental, or things that are very hazardous and very harmful to us human beings, and just anything. It doesn't just have to be human beings. It could be to the animals, to nature, to the planet overall. But when I say that in order to be a leader, you have to first know how to be led, is that we all weren't leaders at first. I know everybody likes to, let me fix my chain. I know everybody likes to always, say that, like, yeah, I never was a follower, I always was a leader. And it sounds great and stuff like that when you say that. Maybe that is some people's truth. I'm not going to say that it's not. But I'm talking about we all were young at one point, and there was somebody ahead of us. For many of us, it was our parents. If you had parents that were stable parents, and parents that weren't into a lot of chaos and destruction, it was our parents that were our first leaders. And we had to learn how to be led. And how do we have to learn how to be led? We had to follow their rules. We had to learn how their teachings, way of life, and how the teachings of how to survive in the world. Because to survive in this world, you need great teachings and you need great leadership in order to survive and to know how to lead yourself. So for many of us that had that stability at home and those stable parents, that was our first leaders, and we were, I guess you could say, the followers, and we were the sheep to them because they were leading us and giving us the tools in life. But their leadership and their teachings taught us how to be leaders and our followers as we grew up in this world. And it wasn't just our parents. For some of us that was into sports, some of us had coaches. For those that didn't have stable parents in their life, coaches was our first leaders. Whether you was playing basketball, football, soccer, baseball, I don't know if I said baseball already, lacrosse, anything. It didn't matter, anything. Just a coach, somebody that can teach you the game, teach you the rules of the game, whatever sport you was playing. But not only, the great thing about coaches were they weren't only great leaders when it came to the sport, they were great leaders in life, because a lot of rules and a lot of things that we learn from sports apply to life. And that's where a lot of leadership comes from too for many people. I know for myself, when it came to playing basketball, even though I didn't go to the league or play in the collegiate level that I thought I would or intended to, when I look back now, I learned a lot of great things from the coaches that I had in my life. And I'm very thankful and fortunate for them because they taught me a lot of things. So sometimes we missed the point when we play on the sport teams, when we didn't go to the league or we didn't go on the collegiate level that we thought, or as far as we thought, and we underestimate our reason of being on those teams. So back then, at that time, I couldn't understand it or see it as that, because I was looking at it like, oh, I wish I would have did this different. I wish I would have went harder. I wish I would have, believed in myself more, or just not get out of my head when it came to the sport when I got to the high school level. But when I think back now, I learned a lot being on that team. I learned dedication because we used to practice every day. Like literally, anybody that went to Rice High School that was on varsity, we literally practiced every day. We never got a day off. Like, it was no day off. And at the time, we hated that because everybody else was getting breaks. They wasn't playing as hard. But what the coach was teaching us was that when you practice hard so much, when the real game comes, it's not going to feel like a hassle. It's going to be very easy to play with in that because you're going hard. Because majority of the time, our practices were way harder than the games. Like, our practices was like 3 hours sometimes every day. Even on holidays, we didn't get no days off. Like, it was that serious. And at the time, you can't understand that, but later on in life, you understand how that puts you ahead of the competition. And not only in the sport, but in life. Because it teaches you dedication, and it teaches you how to go hard. And it teaches you how to really stay committed to something and to really put your all into it and your efforts and 110%, not just 100 but 110, even when you don't have the gas in your tank and it feels like your tank is on E. So that's one thing, was the dedication. Another thing was not only the hard work, like I said, but also how to be a team player. Because in order to be a great leader, you have to learn how to not only lead people, but you have to learn how to be a team player. Because some people are leaders in today's society or even in the past, but they didn't give their team or the people behind them, they never gave them the floor to speak what they wanted to speak, the floor to put any request that they wanted or they thought they could add, or something that needed to be changed that could make things better for everybody. So a lot of leaders didn't want to do that, or they didn't want to listen because they were so much in the ego of the leadership and nobody else could put input in but me. So being on a team taught us that you have to rely on each other, no matter how big your role is, no matter if you're the captain, no matter if you're the last person on the bench, you're not playing. Everybody's role was important. So that was another thing I learned about that, and how to be a leader was to also listen and let people put in their input as well, and also have each other's back, and also treat everybody with respect, no matter if you're the star player, no matter if you're coming off the bench, no matter if you're not getting no playing time. We all had to learn to treat each other the same way, because we all had the same consequences. If one person messed up in practice, we all had to run. Sorry, the flies and insects trying to, got that good blood, they be trying to bite me up. But anyway, we had to learn that nobody was above the team. If one person got in trouble, we all got in trouble. If one person messed up, we all had to run suicides. If one person was late, we all had to suffer and get the consequence for that. So it was annoying at that time, but it taught us so much, because it teaches you how to look out for your brother or your sister. It teaches you how to look out for one another and have each other's back and hold each other accountable, but also treat everybody with respect, no matter whose position it is, no matter who's the star player, no matter who's the captain, no matter who's the sixth man off the bench, no matter if you're not getting no playing time. It forced us to hold each other accountable, but also treat each other with respect and look at each other as equals. So that was another thing, was the dedication, the hard work, treating everybody with respect, making sure that you hear everybody out, and everybody gets the same consequences. Nobody's above anybody on the team. So that's another form of how I learned leadership in my life. Another way, besides my parents, besides coaches, for many of us, if we didn't have coaches, if we didn't have the right stability at home with parents, it was at school. We all came across a teacher or multiple teachers that weren't just there for the paycheck, because I know y'all can relate to this. When teachers used to get mad, they used to be like, I don't care if y'all want to pass or fail anyway, I'm going to get paid anyway. We used to hear teachers say that all the time, and that was crazy for a teacher to say. But a lot of teachers, and maybe some teachers now, because I'm not in school no more, but I'm pretty sure people that's still in school, I'm pretty sure they could still relate to that, because probably a lot of people that have that mindset, like they're just there for the check. They don't really care if the student is going to pass or fail or not. But for those that came across teachers that did care, we seen how much they poured into the students. When the students didn't want to put their all into something, they got on us. They pep talked us. They told us, like, yo, you slacking, you smarter than that, you better than that. Or why you always hanging out with this group of people? You better than that. Why you always letting them lead you down the wrong path? You much smarter than that. Don't let them hold you back in life. You keep listening to them, they're going to put you in a spot in life where it's going to be hard to recover from. So many of us, if it wasn't for our parents or if it wasn't for the coaches, we had teachers that was teaching us how to be great leaders. They was doing that. They was looking out for us, even after school. I used to have teachers, I went to Catholic school, back then, uniform and stuff. All the public school people used to always try to pick on people with uniforms in Catholic school because they thought we were sore because of uniform. So even then, after school, because like I said, sometimes the teachers clock out after school, they don't care no more because some of them is there for the check. But these teachers that actually cared and actually cared to lead us somewhere in life and teach us things, they would make sure we get home safe. They would be like, hey, I'm going to walk y'all down this block. I'm going to make sure I get to the train safe. Or if they seen us playing around outside, they would check us and tell us how to conduct ourselves, because we not only representing the school, we represent our family as well. So these are things that were small, but it was very monumental, because it helped teach us how to be leaders, and it helped teach us to always be in the pocket even when somebody's not watching. Always do the right thing even when somebody's not watching, or even when you feel like you could get away with something. They was teaching you how to do the right things in life. So these different people in our walks of life were teaching us how to be leaders. And in order to be a leader, you have to first know how to be led. So learning these teachers and learning these teachings, learning these different qualities from these people, and them caring and pouring love into us, because that was another ingredient of it all, was that they were pouring a lot of love into us and pouring a lot of belief and a lot of encouragement. Thank you, God. A lot of love, belief, and encouragement into us, because you need that growing up in this world. You need encouragement. You need positive influences in order to give you that boost to do what you need to do in life, and also stay on that straight and narrow path to get to your destination in life and what you're supposed to be fulfilling in this lifetime. So a lot of people don't understand that, because a lot of people just want to be leaders and they just want to be the first and the captain, just to say I'm the captain, I'm the boss. Everybody just wants to be a boss. Nobody wants to be a worker. And we all had to be workers at some point, whether we were, again, worked by our parents, worked by the coach on the sports team, or we was getting worked by the teachers in class. We all were workers. So yeah, it's good to have that mentality, like, hey, I'm a boss, I ain't a worker, but we all had to be that, and we all had to learn those positions first in order to be able to be a leader, in order to be able to be the line leader, in order to be the captain of the team, or just the captain of your company, or whatever it is that you want to pursue in life. So we had to learn how to be led first, to learn these teachings, to learn these ground rules, and to learn everything in order for us to get older and lead ourselves and lead others. And a lot of times leading is not always getting on people or being outspoken. A lot of times it's leading by example, because a lot of coaches and teachers and parents, even when they didn't say too much, they were doing things leading by example, where we were watching them from afar. That's why they always say, watch what you do around kids, because kids are very impressionable. So we were watching them from afar, or even people that were a little older than us that we looked up to, we were watching them from afar because we were admiring them and we were learning. And that was teaching us leadership, of how they conducted themselves in a positive way, certain stuff they didn't do, certain stuff they stayed away from, and just certain stuff they didn't talk about in front of us because we were young. We picked up on those things and we learned that, and we carried that on into our life, and that helped us be great leaders. So a lot of times, even if you're not leading nobody right now, you have to learn how to lead yourself. Thank you, God. So those teachings are also teaching you how to lead yourself, because you also got to learn how to lead yourself first before you can lead anybody else as well. So that's another great aspect of having those people from a young age, or even when we get older, that God puts on our path to help us get on that leadership role, to lead ourselves down the right path. And then we may become leaders of others if that's also in our destiny. But even if we just leading ourselves and just doing our own thing, people will learn and follow after us, and they will learn how to lead themselves and learn how to handle life and go through life the correct way. And the correct way doesn't mean that it's one way. The correct way means that you're trying to live as righteous as you can, meaning that you're trying to do what you're supposed to do, and you're trying to do as many right things that you can do as well. So that's the message. Just remember that in order to be a leader, you first have to know how to be led. So peace and blessing, much respect, much love. I love y'all. Keep doing your thing. Stay goal-oriented. Like I always say, whether we run, whether we jog, whether we sprint or crawl, because life is that hard. Sometimes you can't run, you can't jog, you can't sprint. Only thing you can do is crawl to that destination. But like I always say, somehow, some way, we got to make it to our destination someday. So peace, blessings, much respect, much love. I love y'all. Thanks for supporting the channel. I'm going to see y'all in the second video. Peace.